Do you want Derek Carr on the Raiders next year? Type Y for yes, or I want you to type N for no. Coming up here on the Raiders Report, we're going to look at some Derek Carr replacements. So just be ready for the show. It's going to be hot takey. Y for yes, N for no. Do you want Derek Carr on the Raiders next year? Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. Coming up here, we're going to get into some Derek Carr replacements. I like Derek Carr. Let me just flat out say that right now. But we have to be able to face the facts. If DC continues to play as badly as what he's played in a Josh McDaniels system, and Mark Davis is already committed forward to Josh McDaniels, you have to be able to face the facts here and idolize that, hey, there's a chance that Derek's not going to be the quarterback this upcoming season. So you're going to get some trade candidates. You're going to get some free agency looks, draft picks overall. But Mark Davis flat out said McDaniels is our head coach, and he will be for years to come. You can cut Carr in 2023 and save $110.68 million. I have always said money talks. So the fact that DC has zero guaranteed money on his contract, this season is essentially a tryout. And if Davis is going to stick with McDaniels, if I'm McDaniels, I'm going to be like, wait a minute, I want to pick my own quarterback. That's why I wasn't able to win. Carr's career record is 59-75. DC is a good quarterback. He is. But he hasn't even been top 16 this season. We wanted to have debates about top 10 quarterbacks. When you look at the numbers that he has with the amount of talent that he has, he's been a bottom 16 quarterback. I'd probably rank him right now at about 18 or 19. Is some of the blame on McDaniels? Yes. Some of the blame on the offensive line? Yes. Does some of the blame deserve to go to other players, speed, like Devontae Adams, Matt Collins, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller? Yes. But when you're paid the amount of money that Derek Carr has been paid throughout his career, he needs to elevate his game. And the only thing over the last 9 years that's been the constant has been DC. So if you're 2-5 and you continue to play that bad statistically and your team's losing, I'm sorry. It's time to move on from Derek Carr. So if you love the Raiders and you want more free videos around the silver and black, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. If the Raiders trade for a quarterback, we're going live. If the Raiders sign a quarterback, we're going live. If the Raiders draft a quarterback, we'll already be live. If the Raiders move on from DC, we will be live. So if you want to see my Derek Carr candidates here, replacements, hit that sub button. Let's go to the very first option here. And there's one player next season that I think is totally different. His name is Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is scheduled to be a 2023 free agent. If the Baltimore Ravens are dumb enough to let this man hit free agency, if you're the Las Vegas Raiders, you got to do everything in your power to make sure that that guy dresses up in some silver and black and wears that shield on his helmet. I'm telling y'all right now, I would give Lamar Jackson $250 million fully guaranteed, making him not only the most guaranteed money, also the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. And I think that's the starting price. Lamar Jackson, 63.9% completion percentage, 1,635 yards, 15 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. But what makes Lamar amazing is his ability to run. He is the most athletic quarterback in the NFL. I'm not saying he's the best. I will take Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes over Lamar, but he's the most athletic. 75 carries this season, 553 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 31 first downs picked up with his legs only. Lamar Jackson would make this Raiders team at worst right now 5-2. He makes them, I would make the argument, one of the best teams in the AFC. But I already said it. You're going to pay him a lot of money. When you look at the highest paid quarterbacks per year right now, Aaron Rodgers is at number 1 at $50.27 million per year. Highest paid quarterbacks in terms of guaranteed dollars. That belongs to Deshaun Watson at $230 million. I am going to look at every single one of y'all right now directly in the eyes and say that I would rather pay Lamar Jackson $250 million fully guaranteed. Hell, you can call him Lord Lamar Jackson. I'll tell you this, I am a Lord. It sounds weird to say it out loud. I'm a Lord. I am Lord Mitchell Renz. Why? Because I went to establishedtitles.com/chat. If you don't believe me, here's my plaque. I can literally put this on a driver's license, on a plane ticket. My legal name right now, Lord Mitchell Renz. And if you guys want to become a Lord, then listen the heck up. Established Titles is a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while helping global restoration efforts. It's a project based on historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Scotland and an official certificate with a crest. We plant a tree with every order and work with global charities on one tree planted and trees for the future to support global restoration efforts. You can officially include the title Lord or Lady on your credit card, plane ticket, dating profile, whatever makes you happy. It makes also as a great last-minute gift. The first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link that you guys can see down there below at establishedtitles.com/chat, you guys are going to be able to get right next to me. So I'm trying to build a nation. I'm trying to build a Raider nation. And right now we got a special offer. Save an extra 10% on a perfect holiday gift at establishedtitles.com/chat. They also have a Black Friday sale going on, so if you click that link, you got like 60 minutes. You're going to get up to 80% off. It's a hell of a deal. It's also kind of a funny gift. I've had a lot of weird sponsors on this show. This is definitely up there. But imagine getting your dad, your wife, your son, your daughter, your dog, Lord Chuck. I like it. Lord Jeremy Chugs. Let's make it happen. Let's keep on talking here about Lamar Jackson. If Jackson was available, I would. I would make him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Fully guaranteed. Quarterbacks like Lamar that have MVP caliber, they don't hit the free agency market. They don't. And if they do, every single NFL team is going to be in a bidding war. So when I say $250 million guaranteed, your eyes and your ears should be like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. It is. But if Mark Davis is going to sit up here and tell me that, hey, no matter what, we're going to commit to Josh McDaniels, hey, I'm still want to just have these ludicrous ticket prices, he's got the money to spend. Go spend it on Lamar Jackson. Plus, you're saving an extra $110 million on Derek Carr. Use that money to go out and get Lamar Jackson. So I'm going to look at all y'all right now watching this video. If you rep silver and black, if you love the Las Vegas Raiders, if you want to see them win, hit that like button right now for Lamar Jackson in a Raiders jersey. I don't know if it can happen. I don't know if it is going to happen. But we also didn't think that Devontae Adams to the Raiders was going to happen. And if that can happen, Lamar Jackson hits free agency, you do everything in your power to make sure that that guy comes to Las Vegas. The next thing that you could do, yes, Lamar is technically going to be a free agent, and every person that you're about to see on this list is technically going to be a free agent in 2023. Lamar Jackson, though, different than all these guys. Now, the first name that you're going to see on this list is somebody that I know y'all don't like. It's Tom Brady. But the GOAT, he's not so much the GOAT anymore. He looks 45 years old playing in the NFL right now. But here are the top 2023 free agent quarterbacks that, if you didn't want to make a trade, you could potentially go out and sign. Baker Mayfield, wouldn't want him. Sam Darnold, wouldn't want him. Jimmy Garoppolo's intriguing. Teddy Bridgewater, Daniel Jones, Gardner Minshew, Tyler Huntley, Cooper Rush, Geno Smith. Those, to me, are your top 10 players that if McDaniels wanted to get an extra QB, those would be the guys I would look at. Now, obviously, you're going to look at Tom Brady. Why? Well, not only is Tom Brady the greatest quarterback of all time, yes, rooting for Tom would be tough after the tuck roll. The quarterback that's been the best all time in Josh McDaniels' system is Brady. And maybe McDaniels and Ziegler are crazy enough to think, hey, if Brady wants to come play for the Raiders, where if you remember, Brady was going to go to the Raiders, but John Gruden turned that down for Derek Carr. That's already been confirmed. Why not make it happen this season? Or the other option in terms of free agency, and I will flat out say I believe Derek Carr is a more talented quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo. To me, though, Jimmy Garoppolo is a better leader than DC. Jimmy also can play in that Josh McDaniels system. And part of it is if Derek is that bad in the system, what makes you think that they're not going to sit up there and say, hey, Ziegler, hey, McDaniels, why not go get a quarterback that we know can play well in our system? That's Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's go to the next thing that the Raiders could potentially do to try to replace Derek. You could trade for a quarterback. Now, there are certain quarterbacks that I did not include in this list because they're not available via trade. The 4 QBs that you're about to see are QBs that I think are available for a trade in the offseason. The first name, Mac Jones. The Patriots selected Mac Jones in the first round of the 2021 NFL Draft. Guess who's his OC? You guessed it. Yep, Josh McDaniels. Ryan Tannehill. They already drafted Malik Willis. I don't really like Tannehill, but he is an option at $27 million. Matt Corral. Y'all know I love Matt Corral coming out of Ole Miss. He's had a lot of injuries. Carolina seems like a shit show. P.J. Walker's playing well. Matt Corral, somebody to buy low on. And the other name up here is Justin Fields. When you got Champ Kelly, he's got a lot of connections with Chicago. Fields and the Bears, they just made a trade for Chase Claypool. If Chase Claypool doesn't materialize with Fields, maybe they think Fields is the problem. And then that regime decides to move on because they did not draft Fields. So if you can buy low on Justin, get a big-time trade value, those are the 4 quarterbacks that I would at least, say, hey, are they available? Now, before I get into my final names here for Derek Carr replacements in terms of draft picks, y'all can interact with me on social media. I am Matt Mitchell Renz 365 on Twitter, on Instagram, and when we do giveaways for our live shows every Thursday, every watch party on Sunday, we usually do it through Venmo, so don't be afraid to add me as a friend. You guessed it, Mitchell Renz 365. Let's go to the final way that you can replace Derek Carr. It's through the draft. If you know Lamar's not available, if you don't like any of the free agent quarterbacks, if you don't want to trade for anyone, you could always draft a QB. Now, there are 4 names, and only 4 names that I have really confidence in right now. Be frank with you, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, I believe both of these players go in the top 5. Probably go in the top 3. These are the only 2 quarterbacks right now that I would draft. Raiders right now, if the draft were to start today, number 6 overall. Okay? So think about that for a second. I would love to get C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young at number 6. It's probably not going to happen. Raiders have to trade up. Hendon Hooker has a lot of talent. He's actually doing a lot. He's beat Alabama this season and doing a lot with much less talent than Stroud and Young have. However, he's 26 years old. A lot of quarterbacks in the NFL are like Justin Herbert, Tua Tagovailoa, Joe Burrow, much younger. Hooker's how old? He's 24. He's going to be 25, though, I believe, at the end of the year. Will Levis, on the other hand, though, for Kentucky, he's got all the arm talent in the world. If I was his agent or if I knew somebody that knew Will Levis, I'd say, hey, go back to college football. Go back to Kentucky because I think he needs another year. So in terms of what quarterbacks am I going to draft, there's not many out there. Now, these are the only 4 QBs that I would have, or 3 quarterbacks I'd have confidence in playing right away. If you were to draft Will Levis, I would want him to learn behind Derek Carr on a cheaper contract. You bring back Derek, say, hey, I need you to take a pay cut. If Derek doesn't want to take a pay cut, then you better hope you get one of these 3 guys, because if not, none of those other quarterbacks I think are going to be better than DC right away, and that puts you in another tricky situation. So after seeing those top 4 QBs, who is your favorite quarterback draft prospect? I can't wait to see what you guys have to say down in the comments.